Oh no. You ever get that sickening feeling in your stomach when you realize you done screwed something up? So I was working here on the carcass, getting ready to install the doors, and I set this up here, and I just happened to turn it far enough that I knocked the doors off. Haven't looked at them yet. Let's see what we got here. This one appears to be okay. No dings on it. But this one, well, I can replace those rails and stiles. That's not a big deal. But did it do any damage to the panel? Nope. Panel's all in one piece, and I can reuse it. So, I guess that'll set me back a few hours. I'm gonna have to make new rails and stiles. It might be possible to glue all that back together, but it'll always show the damage. So yeah, wonder where that came out of. Anyway, I think my best bet here is just to start this over. Here on the is a top rail that goes across above the doors and connects the front together. There's a cutout that's 12 inches wide in the center of it here that will be a pull-out to make a slide at the top edge right beneath the top of the nightstand, and it will pull out. So it's been cut, and I'm going to try to make it not necessarily hidden, but at least so that it doesn't stand out much. So what I've done, well, this is the bottom of that slide out shelf that's going to be installed. You'll notice that the front, it'll be built like a breadboard with with the grain running the opposite direction, because this piece right here matches the wood grain along the front up here and goes into that cutout. But I don't want to have a gap around the edges of it. So what I did instead is I made this front piece thicker than the shelf. See that little ledge right there? And do you see that mark across the end right there? What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that over to the tapered sanding disc, and I'm going to sand off the back edge of that, so that as the drawer slides in, it'll ride up and put itself back in place, and hopefully make the gap between the front piece and the opening here disappear. It should work, but I won't know till after I try it, so I'm going to go over there and sand that off now. That gets it right down to where I want it. It's a nice thing about the tapered disc. It takes it off and only the center portion touches it, so that you don't have to worry about gouges. Makes it nice and smooth all the way across. Okay, so I got it milled in there. I've got the inset milled. That's pretty clean. We'll have to have a little bit of sanding down here in the bottom. The edge, I think it'll sand out okay. I think it'll be a nice clean cut. Now, I've got to bore a hole from the back to the front for the cord to come in, because this will be a contact charger inset in here. The pull-out tray has a lip here on the front, on the top edge, that I can pull on to open it. I want to put a finger pull along this edge right here. So I've installed 1/2 inch diameter, 1/4 inch radius bit that I'm going to put a 4 inch wide finger pull in here. It's a cove bit. So got it set up, and what I'll do is I'll put it on, drop it down, move it 4 inches to the side, and we should end up with a cove right along there. See if it works. Bit of a dip, so I'll make it just a touch deeper. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Pretty good grip on it. I can grip it pretty good. I think that's what I was looking for. So a little sanding to do, and then I'll get this thing ready to mount on the slides. So I needed to have a way to get the power cord from the back of that insert up to that pocket that I had milled out in it, where the charger goes. And I didn't have a long enough bit. I did have a twist brad point bit, and it was going to go in about 6 inches deep is about all I could get it, and I really needed to go about 12 inches. So I looked at the
big box stores around here. None of them had a long enough bit. Looked it up online, and I found out that they were a little pricey. Couldn't see spending money for a bit to drill one hole. So I took a look at my old auger bits that go in my hand auger, and I found one in there that worked just right. So I was able to get that hole in there, and this is how I did it.
Well, I've got these slides mounted so that the insert slides in and out. And the way it's set up is that it'll raise up, that's tapered, and it'll fit in there perfectly flush and straight across the front. Okay. I have a grommet that I need to put in the bottom of the nightstand to allow the cords to pass through. For that, I need to drill a 2-inch hole. It's a pretty clean hole. Let me get the grommet. By the time I sand it, I think it'll fit in there perfect. Okay, I'm going to call that a success. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a mark right across there that is the depth of the chamfer that I'm going to put around this whole end. I want it to be nice and smooth and follow the radius of this column. Unfortunately, if I lay it down to sand at and I turn it, it's going to bump. Okay, I couldn't do this before I cut the flutes in it because it because I had to have extra length in order to be able to plunge the router and complete the flute. So I had to cut it off, and now I need to chamfer it. So what I did is I built a fixture that this slides in that will let it turn smoothly. So I'll take you over and show you what that looks like. So here on the Shopsmith, I've installed the sanding disc. I have this fixture set at a 45-degree angle to the disc, and I have two blocks here and a stop, and I've milled these so that they are the same diameter, well, a few thousandths larger than the column. So if I locate my mark here, then I will take the disc and I will bury it in the part until I get to the mark on the surface there. Then I'll lock it in place and rotate it. I used this, these are scaled down. I had larger blocks on it before, but I actually built this, I don't know, 15 years ago or so, whenever I made the original chest and bed. So anyway, let's see how she goes. Now I can set the stop so that the next one's exactly the same depth. Then I should just have to flip them and repeat. Slid right in. So now I need to get set up at the next one and make sure that that mark aligns. Let's see, I didn't mark that one quite as plain as I'd like. So okay, so got that done. Do the other one. And just like that, we get a perfect chamfer on the ends. Do need to hand sand it a little bit because I had coarse grit paper on there, but that'll do them. Now I can knock them apart and do the final installation.
That pretty much completes all of the milling and fabrication on this project. Got quite a few odds and ends knocked out on this one. So looking forward to seeing you on the next one. We'll be ready to install the turnings, the fluted columns and the corbels and the pineapple feet and all that. We'll install those on the next one. But like I said, I do appreciate you watching. Look forward to seeing you on the next one, and I hope you have nothing less than a wonderful day.